Hi, my name is Sam, and welcome to the second video in the series on the 7 secrets to enjoying your trip to New York City. Today we're going to go over transportation, how to get around in New York City. New York City has over 8 million people in 5 boroughs, which accounts for 3% of the U.S. population, yet it only accounts for 1% of greenhouse emissions in the United States. This is because they have the greatest public transportation city in the world. The island of Manhattan in the heart of the city has over 1.2 million inhabitants, and in any given day between tourists and commuters from across the city, and from as far away as New Jersey, Connecticut, and upstate New York, it can have up to 5 million people at any given time. This is due to an extensive public transportation network, a large fleet of taxis, and one of the most pedestrian-friendly street patterns in the world. There are 2 main transportation decisions you need to make: how to get to your hotel in New York City at the beginning of your journey, and how to get around during your stay. Arriving in New York City. When arriving in New York City, if you are coming in on a bus or a train, you'll be arriving in one of the 3 places: Penn Station, the Port Authority bus terminal, or Grand Central Station. All 3 hubs are conveniently located in Midtown Manhattan. If you have bags, the best way to get to your hotel is by finding a taxi. A typical taxi ride in Manhattan will be no more than $10 to $15. With bags split among 2 to 4 people, this is almost as economical as taking a subway and much more convenient. If you're arriving at an airport, it will most likely be JFK or LaGuardia. There are a number of options depending on your budget and time constraints. Whatever your transportation decisions, we recommend that you call a hotel concierge or concierge service to help you determine the best way to get into New York City. Limousine service. Car service is the most time-efficient way to get to your hotel, and it is also the ultimate way to cruise into New York City in style. If you book a limousine, it will cost you anywhere from $120 to $240 on your limousine, depending on the quality of the car service. The top hotels in New York City go all out for their limousines, so you can expect to pay a little more for quality and service. We recommend you call ahead to ensure you get a reasonable price and have booked through a reputable, reasonably priced professional company. Next option is a taxi or town car. At the airport, there will be plenty of taxis and black sedans that will offer to take you to your hotel. This is almost as quick as using a limousine, minus the time you spend trying to find one of these cars. A taxi will cost about $50 from the airport to your hotel. Before you make use of a town car, make sure you get the price up front from the driver, as they have no meters. Don't be afraid to walk away from the deal if he quotes you anything higher than $75. You can also call ahead to book through a reputable, reasonably priced company. The next option is bus service. For about less than $20 a person, you can get onto a bus at the airport and be dropped off at Grand Central Station, one of the other main transportation hubs in Manhattan. Depending on how far your hotel is from this hub, you'll probably have a $5 to $8 taxi ride to your hotel. If you have more than 2 people, it's probably more efficient to take a taxi or a town car from the airport. Then there's shuttle service. For less than $30 a person, you can get a shuttle that will pick you up and 15 other passengers at the airport and drop you off individually at your hotel. In this mode of transportation, you can spend a lot of time waiting for other passengers to get dropped off, but you do not have to worry about transferring from a bus to a taxi like you would using a bus service. Again, if you have more than 2 people, it's probably more efficient to take a taxi or a town car. The next method is public transportation. If you're on a tight budget and don't mind carrying your bags on and off of buses and subways, you can get to Midtown Manhattan on public transportation for probably $5 to $10. This is a great way to throw yourself into New York City culture and learn the transportation system. Getting around in New York City. Getting around in New York City while you're staying here can be very easy, or it can be quite adventuresome. Here are the various ways of getting around, their prices, and their advantages and disadvantages. The first option is limousine and car service. To travel in ultimate luxury around New York City, you'll pay around $175 for a transfer, and this allows you to travel door to door to any venue in the city. If you want to do this once or twice for a particularly stylish occasion, or every time, you can easily arrange it through your concierge or travel company. Taxi service. This is probably the best method to get around New York City if you're in a group of 2 or more people. You can easily get anywhere in Manhattan for no more than $10 to $15. Split between a group, this is not much more than a subway ride, which is $2.25. And it eliminates your chances of getting lost. When at your hotel, ask your concierge or doorman for a taxi and they will get one for you. When on the street, simply look for a taxi with their light on, top lit, but it can't say off duty on the side. The next option is subway and bus. If you're traveling alone, this is the most economic way to travel. If you want to get a real sense of New York, the subway is a great place to go. Find some random street performers and run into real New Yorkers in their element. Despite popular movie lore, the subway is generally very safe. One caveat to this is to avoid traveling in the subway after midnight alone if you're a female. While it is not unsafe, most New York girls even avoid it as a rule for safety. The one main drawback for subways is that many tourists can find themselves going the wrong way or overshooting their stop due to being unfamiliar with the system. And if this happens, you can waste an hour or more finding your way back on track. But some travelers enjoy the adventure and actually enjoy getting lost. If you're going to use a transportation system, be sure to get a map and confirm your route with your concierge before you go. Finally, there's walking. New York City is the world's greatest walking city. If you're walking around New York City, there's a good chance you will stroll past movie stars, television personalities, music icons, and models, whether you notice them or not. 20 blocks, probably, for example, 40th to 60th Street, is about a mile and usually takes 20 to 30 minutes to walk. You can generally get anywhere in Manhattan within an hour walk, and the people watching is world class. Again, if you're going to walk and you don't want to get lost, ask your hotel concierge for directions, but getting lost while walking is a lot more fun than on the subway. So, I hope you found this video helpful in getting started planning your trip to New York City. Tomorrow, I will go over the next step, planning your sightseeing. If you would like to talk to a New York City expert about planning your trip, please enter your name and phone number in the box, and one of our concierges will call you within 24 hours. Or, if you can't wait, you're welcome to call our concierge service by dialing the number below. We look forward to helping you plan your trip so that you can truly experience New York City, meet new people, and go home with a story.